Hello, my friend. Welcome back to Fluent English Journey, the place where your English grows, one story at a time. Today, the morning you realize your body needs you, let me tell you a story. A simple story. A quiet story. A story about you, your day, and the body you live in. And as you listen, I want you to relax, breathe slowly, and enjoy the rhythm of easy English. This is your time. This is your journey. You are on the Fluent English Journey channel, and today, we are talking about something very important, something you use every day, something that stays with you from the moment you open your eyes until the moment you fall asleep. We are talking about your body and why you must take care of it, one small step at a time. So let's begin with a soft morning scene, a scene that maybe you know very well. Imagine this. You open your eyes, and the room is quiet. The world is slow. The air is still. For a moment, you feel peaceful, but then, something happens. You try to sit up, but your shoulders feel tight. Your neck feels stiff. Your back feels heavy. You feel tired, even though you just woke up. And you ask yourself, why do I feel like this? What is wrong with me? But maybe nothing is wrong. Maybe your body is speaking to you. Maybe this is your body's soft whisper saying, please, take care of me today. We often forget that our body has a voice. It does not speak with words. It speaks with feelings. It speaks with energy. It speaks with pain, with comfort, with movement, and with stillness. And today, we learn to listen to that voice. So you sit on your bed, feet touching the floor, thinking about your day. Maybe you have work, school, chores, or responsibilities waiting for you. Maybe you have stress waiting for you. Maybe you have worries. Maybe you have plans. But before all of that, before the world asks for your time, your body asks for something too. It asks for care. It asks for love. It asks for simple attention. And the truth is, you don't need a gym, you don't need expensive equipment, and you don't need special knowledge. You just need a few minutes, a few simple habits, and a little kindness toward yourself. As you sit quietly, you breathe in. You breathe out. And you think, maybe today, I will try something different. Maybe today, I will take care of my body, even if it is only in small ways. And that simple thought is the beginning of change. That simple thought is the first step toward a healthier you. And as you listen to this story, your English also grows stronger because you hear clear sounds, simple words, and natural rhythm. Your body learns, your mind learns, and your English grows at the same time. So, let's continue. You stand up slowly from the bed. Your feet touch the cold floor. You stretch your arms above your head. You feel your muscles waking up. Maybe you hear a soft crack from your back or your shoulders. That is okay. Your body is waking up too. You walk to the mirror and you look at yourself. Not with judgment. Not with worry. Just with awareness. You look at your eyes. Maybe they look a little tired. You look at your skin. You look at your posture. You look at the way you stand. And you ask yourself, how can I take care of this body today? And the answer is simple. The answer is always simple. You can take care of your body with one small action at a time. You don't need to change everything. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to choose one thing and do it today. So you begin with something easy. You drink a glass of water. Cold, clean water. You feel it move inside you. And maybe it feels good. Maybe it wakes you up. Maybe your body says, thank you. Many people forget water in the morning, but the body needs it. When you sleep, your body becomes dry. Your cells wait for water. Your brain waits for water. And when you drink it first thing in the morning, suddenly everything inside you becomes a little more alive, a little more awake. And while you drink, let me tell you something interesting. Taking care of your body is not only about physical health. It is also about mental health. When you take a small action, like drinking water, you send a message to your mind. A message that says, I care about myself. I want to feel good today. And that message changes your mood. It changes your energy. It changes how you speak, how you listen, and how you live your day. This is why this story matters. This is why you listening to this script matters. Because English learning is not only about words. It is about feeling confident. And when you feel good in your body, you feel more confident speaking English too. So now, imagine you are still standing there in your quiet room, holding your glass of water. The morning light enters slowly through the window. It touches your face. You take a slow breath, and something inside you feels lighter. Maybe you start to smile a little. Maybe you cannot explain why. But that is the power of a small, healthy action. And now you think about the next step. You say to yourself, I want to move my body, even for 1 minute. So you lift your arms up, stretch them again. You roll your shoulders gently. You move your neck from left to right. You bend your body a little forward. These movements are simple. Anyone can do them. You do not need strength. You do not need training. You only need intention. As you move, you feel the tension slowly leaving your muscles. You feel your body warming up. And once again, your body whispers, thank you. Many people forget that movement is life. When your body moves, your blood moves. Your oxygen moves. Your energy moves. Your mood moves. Even your thoughts move more clearly. And when your mood is better, your English speaking becomes easier. Your mind becomes more open. Your voice becomes more relaxed. So movement is not only good for the body, but also for your communication. Maybe you didn't know that. Maybe you never thought about it. But now you do. And this understanding is part of your journey today. After your small stretch, you walk slowly toward your kitchen. Maybe you prepare a simple breakfast. Something light. Something that gives you energy, not heaviness. Maybe fruit. Maybe eggs. Maybe bread. Maybe tea. Maybe coffee. Anything simple, warm, comforting. And while you prepare it, you notice something. You notice that you are moving slower today. You are calmer. You are more aware of your body. You are not rushing. You are not stressed. You are present. And that simple feeling is the beginning of taking care of yourself every day. Now, while you eat, you start thinking about your life. You think about your habits. You think about the things you do every day without noticing them. Maybe you sit too long. Maybe you don't drink enough water. Maybe you stay awake too late at night. Maybe you often forget to rest. Maybe you forget to stretch. Maybe you eat too fast. Maybe you work too much. Maybe you worry too much. But today, something feels different. Today, you want to change. Not everything. Just one thing. One small daily habit. A habit that will take care of your body. A habit that will give you more energy. A habit that will help you feel better. And this is the moment you make a promise to yourself. A small promise, but a powerful one. You whisper in your mind, today, I will take care of my body. Today, I will choose one healthy action. And I will do it with love. And that is when your journey begins. The journey of taking care of your body every single day. The journey of simple habits. The journey of listening to your body. And the journey of improving your English while learning about your health. Now, let me tell you something important. You do not need to be strong or fast or flexible. You do not need to be an athlete. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to be kind to yourself. You only need to show up. You only need to try. And that is enough. So as the morning continues, you finish your breakfast. You wash your hands. You take a slow, deep breath. And you feel ready to begin your day. But today, you walk out the door with a different energy. A softer energy. A calmer energy. A healthier energy. Your day has not changed. But you have changed. Your body feels supported. Your mind feels clearer. Your heart feels lighter. And all of this began with one simple thought. I want to take care of my body today. And as you step outside, the sun touches your face again. You hear birds. You feel the air. You feel alive. And you know, deep inside, that today will be a better day. Not perfect, just better. And that is enough. This is the beginning of your story. This is section 1 of your journey. And the next part will take you deeper into simple habits you can use every day to care for your body, your energy, your mind, and your English fluency. When you are ready, say the small habits that change everything. Imagine you step outside your home and the air feels fresh on your face. The morning is still young. The world is slowly waking up, and you are waking up with it. You start walking toward your day, maybe to work, to school, or simply to begin your routine. But this morning feels different. Your body feels lighter. Your mind feels clearer. Why? Because you made one small promise to yourself: I will take care of my body today. And that promise is already changing the way you move, the way you breathe, and even the way you listen to this English story right now. You take a few steps forward. You notice the ground beneath your feet. You hear the soft sounds around you, maybe cars far away, birds in the distance, the hum of life slowly starting. And as you walk, you begin to think about habits. You may not see them, but habits shape everything. They shape your energy. They shape your health. They shape your mood. They shape your confidence. They even shape your English learning journey. But here is the important thing: habits do not need to be big or difficult. You don't need to become a new person overnight. You only need small, easy habits. Habits so simple that you can do them anywhere, every day, without effort. And as you walk, you start thinking about what those small habits could be. Maybe you start with something basic, something everyone knows but often forgets: standing up straight. Your posture. Your body shape when you walk. It seems simple, but posture tells a story. When you stand tall, your lungs open more. Your breath becomes deeper. Your mind becomes calmer. And your confidence rises. Even your voice becomes stronger and clearer, which helps your English speaking skills. So you pull your shoulders back just a little. You lift your chin slightly. You relax your arms. You breathe slowly. And suddenly, you feel different. Not perfect, not dramatic, but different in a gentle way that feels good. You continue walking, and your mind goes to the next habit: breathing. It is something you do all day, but you rarely notice it. Many people breathe fast, shallow, or tight. But what happens when you breathe slowly and deeply? Your heart rate becomes softer. Your brain receives more oxygen. Your stress goes down. Your thoughts become clearer. And again, your English becomes stronger because your mind is relaxed and focused. So you take one deep breath, then another. You feel the air entering your body, filling your chest, expanding your lungs. You feel your body soften. You feel your shoulders relax. And then you exhale slowly. And maybe you didn't expect this, but this simple breath makes you feel calm. It gives you a moment of peace. It reminds you that taking care of your body does not require money, time, or effort. It just requires awareness. As you keep walking, you think about another small habit: stretching during the day. Many people sit for long hours. They sit at work. They sit at home. They sit in front of screens. And their bodies become tight. Their backs hurt. Their necks become stiff. Their shoulders feel heavy. But what if you stopped for just 30 seconds several times a day and stretched your arms, rolled your shoulders, or moved your neck slowly? That simple action can change your whole day. And as you walk, maybe you lift your arm a little and stretch it gently. Maybe you roll your shoulders back. Maybe you tilt your head softly to one side. And again, your body whispers, "Thank you." These small habits may look simple, but small things done every day become big things in your life. You think about water again. You think about how easy it is to forget to drink enough during the day. But imagine if you drank one extra glass of water in the morning, one in the afternoon, and one before dinner. Just 3 small cups of water. Your body would feel more awake. Your skin would feel better. Your mind would feel clearer. And your energy would improve. So you say to yourself, I can do that. I can drink more water today. And with that thought, your new habit becomes real. As you walk through your morning, you also think about rest. Many people don't rest enough. They sleep late. They wake up tired. They push their body too hard. But rest is not just sleep. Rest also means taking a 5-minute break. A small pause. A moment to sit down, breathe, close your eyes, or stretch. Rest is how the body repairs, heals, and grows stronger. And when your body is rested, your English listening becomes better. Your memory becomes stronger. Your focus becomes sharper. So rest becomes another important habit that helps both your body and your language journey. Then you think about movement again. Not heavy exercise. Not running for hours. Not lifting weights. Just simple movement. Maybe you take a short walk. Maybe you move your arms. Maybe you step outside to get some air. Maybe you clean your room with gentle movement. These simple actions keep your body alive. They help your blood flow. They help your heart stay healthy. And they help your mind stay happy. As you walk, you realize something. These habits are not big. They are not complicated. They are not scary. They are easy. And this gives you hope. Because you realize you can take care of your body every day. You can create a healthier life. You can choose small habits that make a big difference. And right at that moment, something unexpected happens. You feel a small wave of motivation, like a warm spark inside you. And you think, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can really take care of my body. Maybe I can feel good every day. This is the start of transformation. Not dramatic. Not loud. Not sudden. But quiet, soft, and real. A slow change that begins with awareness. You continue walking, and the day grows brighter. You look around and notice things you usually miss. The color of the trees, the shape of the clouds, the movement of people around you. And this awareness is another habit. A mental habit. A habit of paying attention. When you pay attention to your environment, your mind becomes sharper, more focused, more alive. You become more present. And this presence helps you learn English more naturally because you listen more deeply and observe more carefully. So now, without trying, you're practicing both health and English at the same time. Your journey continues as you turn a corner. Maybe you walk toward your bus stop, your workplace, or your school. Maybe you walk to buy something or to visit someone. Wherever you go, these habits follow you. They walk with you like quiet companions, supporting you, lifting you, making your day smoother and easier. You reach a place to sit. Maybe a bench. Maybe a quiet spot. You sit down, relax your shoulders, and breathe deeply. And then you start thinking even deeper about your body. You realize your body is your home. You live inside it every second of your life. You experience the world through it, through your eyes, ears, nose, skin, and movement. And when your body feels good, life feels easier. Problems feel smaller. Stress feels lighter. And your confidence grows. Taking care of your body is not a luxury. It is a responsibility. It is a gift you give yourself. And it does not need to be difficult. As you sit quietly, you think about one more habit: food. Not dieting. Not restrictions. Not strict rules. Just awareness. You think about eating slowly. Eating with attention. Eating in a peaceful state. Many people eat very fast without tasting the food. They eat while stressed, rushing, or distracted. But when you eat slowly, your body digests better. You feel more satisfied. You feel more calm. And your body gets the energy it needs. So you remind yourself to eat slowly today. To enjoy each bite. To breathe between bites. To choose simple, real food whenever possible. And once again, this habit feels easy. You can do it. Anyone can do it. And now you think about gratitude. Another habit. A very powerful one. You think about saying thank you to your body. Thank you for carrying you. Thank you for walking. Thank you for breathing. Thank you for beating every second without stopping. Your body works so hard for you, even when you do not notice. And when you feel grateful for your body, something magical happens. You begin to take care of it naturally with love, not force. You take healthier actions because you want to, not because you feel pressure. You treat your body like a friend, not like a machine. And that changes everything. As you sit on the bench, breathing softly, you realize something important. Taking care of your body is not about perfection. It is about consistency. It is about doing one small thing every day. Even if everything is not perfect, one small action still matters. So you choose your one habit for today. Maybe it is drinking more water. Maybe it is stretching. Maybe it is walking more. Maybe it is breathing deeply. Maybe it is standing up straighter. Maybe it is eating slowly. Whatever it is, you choose it. With love. And you whisper inside your mind again, today I choose to take care of my body. And this one thought becomes the seed of a new life. A healthier life. A kinder life. A more confident life. And as you sit there, you suddenly realize something beautiful. You are learning English right now and taking care of yourself at the same time. You are improving your listening. You are understanding more. You are hearing simple, natural English that feels comfortable and clear. And this combination, health and language, makes your journey even more meaningful. The sun moves higher in the sky. The day continues to grow. And you know your story is still unfolding. You know there is more to learn. More to explore. More to discover about your body, your energy, your habits, and your English fluency. When you are ready for the next part of this long journey listening to your body's messages as the day moves forward, you stand up from the bench and begin walking again. But something feels different now. Your steps feel softer. Your breath feels calmer. Your mind feels clearer. You feel a little more connected to yourself, almost as if you were finally hearing something that was always there, but was always ignored. And that something is the voice of your body. Your body speaks all the time, but not with words. It speaks with feelings. It speaks with sensations. It speaks with signals. And today, you begin learning to understand these signals slowly, one by one. You walk down the street, and you feel a small pull in your lower back. Usually, you ignore it. You say to yourself, it's nothing, it will go away. But today, you focus on it for a moment. You place your hand on your back gently. You breathe. And you listen. And your body tells you, I have been sitting too long. I am tired. Please move me a little more. And suddenly, this makes sense. Because your body never hurts without a reason. It is always trying to tell you something. The problem is that life is busy. Stress is loud. And the body is quiet. So its voice gets lost. But today, because you are more aware, you hear it clearly. As you continue walking, you feel tightness in your shoulders. Again, this is not new. You have felt it many times before. But today, instead of ignoring it, you roll your shoulders slowly. You stretch them gently. You breathe deeply. And you feel the tightness soften. Thank you, your body says in its quiet way. These small moments begin to teach you something important. Taking care of your body starts with listening. Listening without judgment. Listening with kindness. Listening with patience. You keep moving and your mind becomes curious. What other signals does my body send me every day? So you start paying attention. You notice when you are hungry, not just the loud hunger, but the small early signs. A soft emptiness in your stomach. A little drop in your energy. You also notice when you are full, not too full, but comfortably full. You notice when you are thirsty, dry lips, a heavy head, low energy. You notice when you are tired, not just physically tired, but mentally tired. You notice when you need a break. You notice when your body wants to sit down. And you notice when your body wants to stand up again. These messages were always there, but today you finally understand them. And this understanding begins to change your relationship with your body. As you walk through your day, you arrive at your workplace, school, or another place where you spend your time. You sit in your chair. Normally, you would sit in the same way, in the same posture, for hours. But today, you become aware of how you sit. You notice how your shoulders slowly collapse forward. You notice how your neck leans down. You notice how your lower back becomes curved. And you realize something important. Your body is not designed to sit like this for long. So you adjust yourself. You sit up. You stretch your arms. You relax your neck. And even this small adjustment makes you feel better, lighter, more awake, more comfortable. You begin working or studying. Time moves slowly. Minutes turn into hours. And as you focus, your mind starts to wander. Your body starts to become tight again. Your shoulders rise. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your eyes feel tired. But this time, you notice it right away. So you pause. You close your eyes softly. You breathe in deeply. You breathe out slowly. And in that short moment, your whole body relaxes. It only takes a few seconds, but those seconds matter. Those seconds help your body feel supported. And when your body feels supported, your mind works better. Your English listening becomes easier. Your concentration becomes stronger. Your mood becomes calmer. This is the power of small pauses. And as you continue your day, you keep listening. You hear your body say, "I need to stand up." So you stand. Not for long. Just for a moment. You stretch your back. You stretch your legs. You turn your head slowly left and right. And then you sit again. And again, your body says, "Thank you." These small actions may look simple, but they're acts of kindness. They're acts of care. They're ways of saying to your body, "I hear you. I see you. I will take care of you." And these messages add up. They become your new relationship with your body. Not one of force, pressure, or guilt, but one of listening, softness, and respect. As the hours pass, something beautiful begins to happen inside you. You start feeling lighter, more present, more connected. And you realize something. The more you listen to your body, the more alive you feel. The more control you have. The more confidence you build. And the more peaceful you become. In the middle of the day, maybe you go outside for a short break. The sun is higher now. The light is brighter. The air is warmer. You look up at the sky for a moment, and something shifts inside you. You feel grateful. Grateful for your body. Grateful for your breath. Grateful for this moment of awareness. And gratitude becomes another important message. Gratitude says, "You are doing well. You are taking care of yourself. Keep going." You find a quiet place to sit for a moment, maybe a step, maybe a low wall, maybe a small bench outside. And you close your eyes again. You listen to the sounds around you. You hear birds. You hear people talking in the distance. You hear the wind moving through leaves. You hear life. And your body feels calm in this quiet present moment. You breathe deeply and think about something many people forget. Your body is not your enemy. Sometimes people feel angry at their body. They feel frustrated because they are tired or stressed or in pain. But the body is never trying to hurt you. The body is always trying to help you. Pain is not punishment. Pain is communication. Fatigue is not weakness. Fatigue is protection. Stress is not failure. Stress is a message that says, slow down. Every feeling in your body is a message. And today, you are learning to decode these messages. Slowly, gently, naturally. This is the beginning of taking care of yourself in a healthier way. As the day continues, you return to your tasks. You speak to people. You listen. You think. You work. And through all of these actions, you continue to listen to your body in the background. Like a soft radio playing quietly in your mind. You notice when your hands feel cold. You notice when your eyes become tired. You notice when your neck becomes stiff. And instead of ignoring these things, you respond with small actions. You move. You breathe. You stretch. You rest. You drink water. And your body responds with comfort, with energy, with calmness. You are building a relationship, a partnership, a friendship between you and your own body. And this partnership will stay with you forever if you continue listening. Later in the afternoon, you begin to feel a little tired. Not too much, just enough to notice. And normally, you would push through that feeling. You would pretend you don't feel it. You would keep going until your energy becomes too low. But today you pause. You ask yourself, what do I need right now? And the answer comes quietly but clearly. I need a short break. Just a few minutes to breathe and reset. So you pause your task. You place your hands on your lap. You take a slow breath in. You hold it for a moment. And then you release it softly. And in that simple moment, your energy returns. Not fully, but just enough to continue the day with clarity and calm. This is how listening to your body helps you live better. It helps you avoid burnout. It helps you manage stress. It helps you stay calm. It helps you stay present. And it even helps you speak English more confidently because your mind is not tired or overwhelmed. At some point, maybe you feel hunger again. And instead of rushing and eating fast, you take your time. You chew slowly. You taste your food. You breathe between bites. And this slow eating helps your body digest better. You do not feel too full. You do not feel heavy. You feel nourished. And your body says, "Thank you for feeding me with care." You begin noticing how good it feels to listen to your body. It feels natural. It feels peaceful. It feels healing. And you start thinking, why didn't I do this before? Why did I ignore my body for so long? But you do not blame yourself. You do not feel guilty. Because today is a new beginning. Today you're learning. Today you're growing. And beginnings are always quiet, soft, gentle. You continue your afternoon. You talk to people. You complete your work. You move through your day. But every time your body speaks to you, you hear it. Maybe your eyes ask for a break. So you look away from the screen. Maybe your legs ask for movement. So you stand up and stretch. Maybe your mind asks for calm. So you breathe. Maybe your body asks for hydration. So you drink water. These small answers to your body's messages help you feel better at every step of your day. And by listening to your body, you also learn something deeper. You learn to trust yourself. You learn that you know what you need. You learn that your body has wisdom. And you learn that caring for yourself is not complicated. It is simply about hearing what your body is asking for. As the day slowly prepares to move toward evening, you feel grateful again. Grateful for your body. Grateful for your awareness. Grateful for this journey. And grateful for the way your English is growing as you listen to this story. You feel your mind relaxing. Your listening improving. Your understanding deepening. Because this simple, slow, natural English helps you learn easily, without pressure. And now, your day continues. But your relationship with your body has already changed. And this change will grow stronger in the next part of the story, where you discover how healthy choices during the evening shape your energy, your mood, and your life. When you're ready for the next long chapter, the slow morning that changes everything. When the alarm rang the next morning, Mia did not jump out of bed like she usually did. She opened her eyes slowly. The room felt quiet and calm. For a moment, she just lay there, listening to her own breathing. It was slow, warm, and peaceful. She remembered what happened the day before. She remembered the elevator. She remembered the headache. She remembered how her body warned her. And she whispered softly to herself today, "I will take care of you." She smiled a little because it felt strange but beautiful, like she was talking to a friend, a very important friend. Her own body, she sat up and stretched her arms above her head. And something unusual happened. She felt good. Even this simple stretch felt like a small victory. She kept moving slowly, feeling her shoulders relax and the tightness in her back soften. Wow, she thought. This feels nice. She stood up and walked to the window. She opened it, letting the morning air touch her face. It was cool, fresh, and soft. She breathed in deeply. And again. And again. It felt like the first time she had ever taken a real breath. A real, full breath. She didn't know why something so simple felt so new. But she liked it. Mia went to the kitchen and made warm water with lemon. She had seen people do this on the internet, but never tried it herself. She thought it was just a trend. But when she drank it, she felt a warm wave move through her chest. It woke her up gently. Not the way coffee did. Coffee made her jump. This made her rise slowly, calmly. She sat at the table and tried something she almost never did. She ate breakfast. Not something fancy. Just a banana and a piece of toast. Simple. Soft. Kind to her body. She felt like she was having a conversation with herself, saying, "Here, this is for you." Then she opened her notebook. A blank page stared back at her. She wrote at the top, "Take care of your body every day." And then she wrote one sentence under it, "Start small. Stay kind." She didn't know where those words came from, but they felt right. They felt true. She touched the page lightly, like the sentence was a promise she made to herself. A promise she wanted to keep. As she got ready for work, she moved slower than usual. No rushing. No running around the apartment searching for things. Everything felt softer. More peaceful. Even the way she brushed her hair felt different. She still cared about her job. She still cared about doing good work. But for the first time, she also cared about how she felt inside her own skin. She cared about the body that carried her every day. The body that held her when everything else felt too heavy. When she left her apartment, she didn't run to catch the bus like she usually did. Instead, she walked. A slow, steady walk. The sun touched the top of the buildings, turning them gold. She saw a woman walking a dog. She saw a man watering flowers on his balcony. She saw a little girl holding her mother's hand and smiling at the sky. She realized something. She had passed these things many times before, but she never saw them. Not really. Her mind had always been running faster than her feet. But today, her steps and her thoughts moved at the same gentle pace. It was like the world had opened up and invited her to breathe with it. On the bus, she found a seat and leaned back. She closed her eyes and listened. Not to her worries. Not to her endless to-do list. But to her breath. In and out. In and out. She felt her chest rise and fall, calm and steady. She felt her shoulders drop naturally. She felt her heartbeat slow, as if it finally trusted her to take care of it. An elderly woman sitting beside her smiled and said, "You look peaceful today." Mia opened her eyes with surprise. "Do I?" she asked softly. "Yes," the woman said. "Like someone who slept well and woke up with purpose." Mia laughed gently, because she didn't know what her purpose was. But she knew it was starting inside her body. When she reached her office, she didn't rush into her tasks. She stood at her desk, rolled her shoulders slowly, loosened her neck, and took 3 deep breaths before opening her computer. Her coworkers looked at her with curiosity. She didn't look tired. She didn't look stressed. She looked present. "New morning routine?" one of them asked. "Maybe," Mia said with a smile. "Just trying something different." And for the first time, Mia realized something important, something she had never paid attention to before. When she took care of her body, even in small ways, her mind became clearer. Her mood became lighter. Her energy became brighter. She felt more human, more alive. It was like opening a window inside herself and letting sunlight enter, little by little. But she also wondered, would this feeling last? Could she really keep this new promise to herself? Could she truly change her life one small moment at a time? Or would the stress of the world pull her back into old habits? She wasn't sure. But she felt something new inside her chest. Something warm. Something hopeful. And hope, she thought, might be the strongest beginning of all. She didn't know it yet, but this slow morning was about to lead her into a challenge. A test. A moment that would show her how important her promise really was. And soon, that moment would arrive, the unexpected test. The day moved quietly at first. Mia typed emails, organized files, and spoke softly with her coworkers. Everything felt normal on the outside, but inside, she felt different. Lighter. Steadier. Like she had finally found a gentle rhythm that she could trust. She didn't know how long this feeling would last, but she enjoyed every moment of it. Every deep breath. Every calm step. Every small choice to take care of her body instead of rushing through life. But life has its own plans. It was around noon when Mia's phone started ringing. At first, she ignored it because she was in the middle of a meeting. But the phone kept buzzing. Again. And again. Each vibration felt stronger than the last. Her heart started beating a little faster. Something didn't feel right. She excused herself quietly, walked out of the meeting room, and answered the call. It was her younger brother, Daniel. His voice was shaking. Not from fear, but from exhaustion. Mia, can you come? I'm at the clinic near Mom's house. I'm okay. I think. But I need you. For a moment, Mia froze. She felt the calmness from the morning slip away like water running out of her hands. Her breath became shallow. Her shoulders tightened. The old stress started rising, slowly but powerfully, like a wave she had forgotten about. She didn't even know what happened to Daniel. But she didn't ask many questions. She simply said, I'm coming. She grabbed her bag and walked quickly toward the elevator. Her mind was racing. The peaceful thoughts from the morning disappeared. Instead, she heard the familiar voice of worry whispering, hurry. Rush. Don't think. Just go. Her heartbeat began to run again, faster and faster, like it used to. But then something unexpected happened. She took one step into the elevator and suddenly remembered her promise. The one she wrote in her notebook. Start small. Stay kind. Those words stopped her for a moment. Her body was scared. Her mind was confused. But she took one slow breath. Then another. And another. The elevator doors closed gently, and she pressed her back against the cool metal wall. She wanted to cry, not because something terrible happened, but because she realized how fragile calmness can be. How quickly it can disappear when life suddenly changes direction, but she also realized something else. She had a choice. A small one. But still a choice. She could rush and panic, or she could breathe and move with steady steps. She whispered to herself, take care of your body first, so you can take care of him better. When the elevator doors opened, she walked to the street and called a taxi. The air outside was warm. Cars moved fast around her. People were talking loudly. Everyone seemed busy. But Mia tried not to lose her sense of balance. She placed one hand on her chest to feel her breath. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't as smooth as her morning. But it was still hers. Still something she could guide gently. The taxi arrived, and Mia sat in the back seat. As soon as the door closed, she took 3 slow breaths. She wasn't trying to be calm. She wasn't trying to be perfect. She was simply trying not to lose herself. The driver noticed her stress and asked softly, "Are you okay?" She nodded. "Just trying to stay calm." The driver smiled kindly. "Good. Stress doesn't help much. Breathing does." She looked out the window and watched the city move past her. Buildings, trees, people crossing the street. Everything looked blurry and sharp at the same time. Life was moving quickly, but she didn't have to move at the same speed. She kept her breathing soft. She relaxed her shoulders again and again, each time they tried to rise. She repeated the same words quietly in her mind, kind, slow, breathe. When she reached the clinic, she walked inside with steady steps. Her body still felt shaky, but she moved with intention. A nurse guided her to a small waiting area where her brother sat. He looked tired, pale, and a little embarrassed. Mia sat beside him and touched his arm gently. "What happened?" she asked. Daniel sighed. "Just exhaustion. The doctor said I've been pushing too hard. No sleep. Too much work. I fainted at home." Mia felt her chest tighten with worry, but she also felt a strange sense of understanding. She knew that feeling. She knew what it meant to push and push until the body gave up. It was like looking at her own reflection, but in someone she loved. She took a slow breath and said softly, "Okay. I'm here. You're safe now." The doctor came in and talked about rest, hydration, and stress. But Mia wasn't just listening to instructions for her brother. She was also listening for herself. Every word felt like it was meant for both of them. Rest. Slow down. Pay attention. Your body is talking to you, and for the first time, Mia realized something important. Taking care of her body wasn't only about feeling good. It was also about being strong when life surprises you. Being steady when someone needs you. Being calm when the world becomes loud. This moment, the worry, the rush, the fear, the deep breaths, this was the test she didn't expect. And she passed, not because she was perfect, but because she tried. Because she stayed kind to herself, even when things got hard. She held her brother's hand gently and whispered, "We are both going to take better care of ourselves. Starting today." And inside her chest, something warm grew again. A quiet strength. A soft courage. Something that felt like the beginning of a real change. A promise written in small steps. After leaving the clinic, Mia and Daniel walked slowly toward the street. The sunlight was softer now, warm and golden, falling gently on their shoulders. Everything felt quiet around them, even though the city was busy. Cars were honking in the distance. People were walking fast, talking loudly, checking their phones. But somehow, for both of them, the world felt slower. As if life wanted them to breathe before taking another step. Daniel looked tired but safe. His steps were small. His shoulders were still heavy. But he was awake, and that mattered more than anything else. Mia stayed close beside him. She didn't rush him. She didn't push him. She just walked at his pace, matching his breathing with her own. It felt like a simple act, something anyone could do, yet it filled her with a deep sense of responsibility and love. When they reached the bus stop, they sat down together. Daniel leaned his head back and closed his eyes. Mia watched him quietly. She remembered the morning and how she felt peace inside her body. And she remembered how quickly stress had returned. But now she understood something important. Something she had never fully realized before. Taking care of your body is not something you do only when life is easy. It is something you must hold on to when life becomes difficult. When unexpected things happen. When you don't have control. When you feel scared. Those are the moments when your body needs you the most. She looked at her brother's face and thought about all the little habits he had ignored: late nights, fast food, skipping meals, drinking too much coffee, carrying too much pressure, pretending to be strong. She saw herself in him. And she wondered how many people in the world were living like that. Rushing every day. Forgetting their bodies. Forgetting the machine that carried them through everything. When the bus arrived, they sat in the back. Daniel leaned on her shoulder. Mia felt his weight and realized how fragile people can be, even the ones who always act strong. She put her arm around him and whispered, "We will fix this together." She didn't know what fix meant exactly, but she knew it started with small steps. Very small steps. As they rode through the city, Mia looked out the window. She saw a man lifting heavy boxes near a store, his face tired. She saw a young woman eating lunch quickly while walking, her shoulders tense. She saw someone rubbing their forehead from too much stress. She wondered how many of them remembered to breathe today. How many of them listened to their bodies? How many of them pushed past pain because they thought they had no choice? She realized more clearly than ever, people often take care of everything except themselves. When they reached their mother's house, the old wooden door opened slowly, and their mom stood there with worried eyes. She hugged Daniel first, holding him tightly, like she was afraid he might disappear. Then she turned to Mia and hugged her too. "Thank you," she whispered. "You always take care of him." Mia didn't say anything. She just smiled softly, because she knew it wasn't always true. She had taken care of others more than herself. Today, she wanted that to change. Inside the house, the familiar smell of homemade soup filled the air. The kitchen was warm and bright, with sunlight touching every corner. Daniel sat at the table while their mom served food. Before eating, Mia put her hands around the warm bowl and closed her eyes for 1 second. Just one small second. She felt the heat on her palms. She felt her breath slow. She felt her body quietly say, "Thank you." As they ate, Daniel spoke softly. "I didn't know I was this tired," he said. "I thought I could handle everything." Mia nodded. "I know. I used to think the same." He looked at her with surprise. "Used to?" She smiled. "I'm learning." Slowly. They talked gently, with pauses that felt natural. They talked about sleep, about stress, about their jobs, about how much pressure they carried every day without noticing. Their mother listened and added, "Your body is like a child. If you don't listen, it cries. If you keep ignoring it, it screams." Mia felt those words settle deep inside her. They were simple, but powerful. After lunch, Mia helped her mom clean the kitchen. The warm water from the sink felt good on her hands. The slow movement of washing dishes made her feel calm. She wasn't rushing. She wasn't running. She was just there in the moment. Present. Breathing. She realized that taking care of her body didn't always mean doing big things. Sometimes it meant slowing down during small moments. Being gentle. Being aware. Later, when she and Daniel were alone for a moment, she said quietly, "Let's do something together. Something small. Every day." Daniel looked confused. "Like what?" Mia thought for a second, then said, "Maybe 1 short walk. Or 5 minutes of stretching. Or eating slowly. Something that tells our body we care." Daniel nodded slowly. "Okay. I think I need that." Mia smiled because the moment didn't feel dramatic or big. It felt simple. Real. Human. Change does not always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it arrives quietly, in a small agreement between two tired people who want to be better. Before leaving their mom's house, Mia wrote a note on the fridge. "Drink water. Breathe. Rest. Small steps." Her mom laughed softly. "You sound like a coach." Mia laughed too. "Maybe I'm trying to coach myself first." On the bus ride back home, Mia looked at her reflection in the window. Her eyes weren't tired. Her face wasn't stressed. She looked softer, kinder, not just to others, but finally to herself. She knew she still had a long way to go. Habits take time to change. Life will keep throwing surprises. Stress will come and go. But she also knew something else. Something she felt deep in her bones. She didn't have to do everything perfectly. She just had to keep moving with small, kind steps, And somehow, that thought brought her a calm that stayed with her all the way home. She didn't know it yet, but her journey was just beginning. And the next part of her story would show her something even more powerful. Transformation doesn't happen in one moment. It happens in many small moments, repeated with love. When small habits start to change a life the next morning, Mia woke up before her alarm. Not because she was stressed, but because her body felt ready. She opened her eyes slowly, feeling the softness of her pillow and the quiet of her room. A gentle light was entering through the curtains, painting the walls with a soft morning color. She stayed still for a moment and noticed something she had never paid attention to before. Her breathing was calm, natural, smooth. It was like her body was speaking to her, quietly saying, "Thank you for listening yesterday." She sat up and stretched her arms carefully. Her muscles felt a little sore, but in a good way, as if they were waking up from a long sleep. She touched her chest lightly and breathed in deeply, letting the air fill her. She didn't feel rush. She didn't feel pressure. It was a slow morning again. Simple. Kind. And as she stood up, she realized she wanted this feeling every day. Not just once. Not just when life was difficult. Every single day, she walked to the kitchen and made warm lemon water again. The smell lifted her spirit. She held the cup with both hands, letting the warmth move through her fingers. It felt like a small morning hug. She drank it slowly, one sip at a time. No rushing. No checking her phone. Just being present with the gentle warmth moving through her body. Then she picked up her notebook. The same one she wrote in yesterday. She turned to the page that said, "Start small. Stay kind." She smiled because now these words felt less like advice and more like a path. A quiet road she was slowly walking. She wrote below it, "Morning breath. Warm water. Slow steps." Just 3 simple things. 3 tiny habits. But each of them felt powerful, like seeds she planted inside her life. As she got ready for work, she made a small decision. Today, she would walk to the bus stop without checking her messages. She wanted the world, not her phone, to be the first thing she connected with. So she left her phone in her bag and stepped outside. The air was cool and soft. She walked slowly, feeling the ground under her feet. She noticed the sound of leaves moving in the wind. She noticed a man riding a bicycle, humming a song. She noticed a cat sitting near a shop, watching people pass by. She felt connected to the world again, in a simple, natural way. And she realized something beautiful. When you slow down, even ordinary moments feel alive. On the bus, she closed her eyes and breathed deeply. Not because she was stressed. Not because she had to. But because it felt good. It felt right. A woman sitting beside her smiled and said, "You look peaceful again today." Mia smiled back. "I'm trying," she said softly. "I'm learning how to take care of myself." The woman nodded as if she understood everything without needing more words. At work, Mia kept her new habits alive. Every hour, she stood up and stretched her shoulders gently. She drank a glass of water without rushing. She ate lunch slowly, tasting every bite. She took a few minutes to rest her eyes. Her coworkers noticed. One of them asked, "Why do you look so calm these days?" Mia laughed quietly. "I think I'm finally listening to my body." Her coworker nodded thoughtfully. "Maybe I should try that too." After work, instead of going home directly, Mia decided to take a short walk through a nearby park. The sky was turning orange and pink. Children were running around the playground. Birds were resting on tree branches. The wind carried the smell of fresh grass. She walked slowly, feeling her body relax with each step. She realized how rare it was for her to enjoy evenings like this. She had always rushed home, tired and stressed. But now she wanted to move differently. Live differently. Breathe differently. As she reached a quiet part of the park, she sat on a bench. She closed her eyes for a moment, and she felt her breath move like gentle waves. Her body felt lighter, as if she had let go of something heavy she had been carrying for years. She didn't know what it was. Maybe stress. Maybe fear. Maybe old habits. But whatever it was, she felt it slowly melting away. She opened her eyes and whispered, "I can do this." Not loudly, not with excitement, but with steady confidence. She realized that small habits were not small at all. They were steps toward a new life. Steps toward a stronger body, a clearer mind, a calmer heart. She looked around the park and saw other people walking, running, stretching, or simply breathing in the fresh air. She wondered how many of them were fighting silent battles. How many of them were trying to take care of their bodies, one small habit at a time. And she felt connected to them. Not because she knew them, but because they were humans, just like her, learning slowly how to live in a world that moves too fast. When she reached home, she didn't fall onto the couch the way she used to. Instead, she placed her bag down gently, turned on soft lights, and sat on her floor. She stretched her body for 5 minutes, nothing big, nothing hard, just slow movements. Her muscles relaxed. Her breath softened. She felt grounded, like she was returning home not just to her apartment, but to herself. Later, before sleeping, she wrote in her notebook again, "Today, I walked slowly. I breathed deeply. I ate gently. My body felt safe." She touched the page with a small smile. And for the first time in a long time, she fell asleep easily, naturally, without stress, without worry. And as she slept, her body continued its quiet work, healing, restoring, strengthening, preparing her for another day of small habits that would slowly, beautifully change her life. The evening that shows her the power of listening the next day felt different from the moment Mia opened her eyes. Not because something big happened, not because life suddenly changed, but because she woke up with a feeling inside her chest that she could not explain, a quiet confidence, a warm reminder that she was learning to live in a new way. She stretched her arms gently and let out a slow breath. Her body felt lighter, almost like it was smiling from the inside. It was a strange thought, but she liked it. She touched her notebook on the bedside table and whispered, "Good morning," as if the notebook was a small friend guiding her step by step. Her morning routine was simple again: warm water, slow breathing, a calm walk to the bus. But something else happened during her day. Her coworkers seemed to notice more clearly now. One of them, a woman named Clara, approached her during lunch and said, "You seem different, Mia. Happier. More balanced. What's your secret?" Mia laughed softly. "Just listening," she said. Clara raised an eyebrow. "Listening to what?" And Mia touched her chest gently. "Listening to myself." Clara nodded slowly, as if the idea felt new but interesting. "I hope I can do that too," she said. Mia smiled. "Anyone can. You just start with one small thing." She didn't realize it, but her words stayed with Clara in a way that would matter later. After work, Mia received a message from Daniel. "Can we walk together today? Just 10 minutes." She smiled instantly. Her brother was trying, and that meant everything. She replied, "Of course." When she reached the park, Daniel was already there, sitting on a bench, waiting for her. He looked better, still tired, but not empty. His shoulders were less tight. His eyes were softer. He stood up slowly when he saw her and said, "Let's walk." They walked through the park at a gentle pace. The sky was a soft blue, fading into evening. Streetlights were starting to turn on, one by one, like quiet stars waiting near the ground. The wind moved the leaves in the trees, making a soft sound that felt peaceful. They didn't talk at first. They just walked. Step by step. Breath by breath. Sometimes silence speaks louder than words. Finally, Daniel broke the silence. You know, he said softly, I used to think taking care of my body was extra. Something for people who had time. Something for weekends. Something I didn't really need. He took a deep breath. But I was wrong. Mia nodded, listening quietly. Daniel continued, Yesterday scared me. But it also woke me up. The doctor said I need rest. But I think it's more than that. I think I need to change how I live. Mia felt a warm, almost proud feeling inside her chest. And you're not alone, she said. We're doing this together. They reached a small bridge in the middle of the park. Underneath it, water moved softly, the sound gentle and rhythmic. Daniel leaned on the railing and looked down at the water. Do you think it's possible, he asked, to change? Even if we spent so many years rushing and ignoring ourselves. Mia looked at him carefully. She saw fear in his eyes, but also hope. And hope is enough to begin. She said, I think change starts small. With tiny steps. With simple habits. With listening to your body when it whispers, not only when it screams. Daniel let out a long breath, as if those words released something heavy inside him. They continued walking, and Mia noticed something beautiful. Her brother was breathing differently. Not fast. Not shallow. But slow. Steady. Almost like her. She didn't mention it, but she smiled quietly, feeling proud of him. After the walk, they sat on a bench to rest. Daniel leaned back and looked at the sky. You know, he said, I used to think strength meant working hard without stopping. Now I'm starting to think strength is knowing when to slow down. Mia nodded slowly. Strength is listening, she said. Listening to your body. Listening to your heart. Listening to your limits. They sat quietly for a moment, and Mia felt something shift inside her. It was small, but it felt powerful. She realized that taking care of herself was not only changing her life, it was also touching the lives of the people around her. Her calmness helped her brother. Her small habits encouraged her coworkers. Her new way of living was creating gentle ripples, spreading slowly, softly, naturally. Later that evening, when Mia returned home, the apartment felt peaceful. She walked inside, took off her shoes, and stretched her arms gently toward the ceiling. Her body felt grateful. It felt safe. She made a light dinner and ate slowly, tasting every flavor. She didn't watch TV. She didn't check her phone too much. She simply allowed herself to enjoy quiet time. After dinner, she sat near her window, looking out at the night sky. Some stars were visible, blinking softly. She closed her eyes and listened to the distant cars, to the wind, to her own breath. She felt connected to everything and nothing at the same time. And she realized something important. Listening to your body is not just about health. It is about learning who you are, learning what you need, learning how to live with kindness and presence. Before going to bed, she wrote in her notebook again, Today I walked with Daniel. We breathed together. Change feels possible. She closed the notebook gently, as if closing a chapter she would always remember. Then she lay down, pulled the blanket over her, and let her body sink into the mattress. Her breath became slow and soft. Her thoughts settled like leaves falling gently to the ground. And as she drifted into sleep, she felt something she hadn't felt in years, a deep sense of peace that stayed inside her, warm and steady. She didn't know what tomorrow would bring. But she knew this. As long as she listened, really listened, her body would guide her. Step by step, breath by breath. One small habit at a time. The body remembers what you repeat. The morning after the storm was surprisingly calm. The air felt cool, almost gentle, as Daniel stepped outside. Birds were perched on the electric wires, chirping like tiny musicians rehearsing for a new day. The sky had that washed-clean look, pale blue with soft clouds drifting slowly, for the first time in a long time. Daniel felt light, not because everything was perfect, not because he had solved all his problems, but because he finally understood something that changed his life. Your body remembers what you repeat, whether good or bad, helpful or harmful, nourishing or destructive. Your body keeps a record, and now, every step Daniel took felt like he was writing a new story into his muscles, his breath, his heartbeat. A slow walk with a new mindset. Daniel began walking toward the park, but this time, he wasn't rushing. He wasn't marching with guilt. He wasn't dragging himself like a tired machine. He was simply walking, fully awake. He noticed his shoulders relaxing, his breathing steady, the soft rhythm of his feet on the ground, the way the morning breeze brushed against his skin. It felt almost magical. But in reality, it was something very simple: awareness. When you finally pay attention to your body finally responds to you. The memory of yesterday's effort. As he reached the park, Daniel did a gentle stretch. His muscles were a little sore, not too much, just enough to say, "Hey, you used me yesterday. Good job." That small soreness didn't feel like pain. It felt like progress. It felt like his body was whispering, "Keep going. I remember what you did." Daniel touched his chest and took a deep breath. There was no fear this time. No voice telling him to quit. No heavy cloud hanging over his head. Only one clear thought: if my body remembers what I repeat, then I will give it something good to remember every day. The park felt new, even though it wasn't. He started jogging lightly, not fast, not perfect, just a gentle jog. He had run in this park many times before, but today it felt different. The trees looked brighter. The path seemed smoother. The air felt fresher. Of course, the park hadn't changed, Daniel had. When you take care of your body, your world starts looking different. Not because the world changes, but because you do. The man on the bench. As Daniel jogged past the lake, he saw an old man sitting on a wooden bench. The man was stretching slowly, carefully, like someone who had done this routine for many years. Daniel slowed down and gave a friendly nod. The man smiled back, a warm, sincere smile. Then he said something simple, but surprisingly powerful: 1% every day. Son, that's all you need. Daniel froze for a moment. How did he know? He wondered. The man continued with a playful wink. Your pace doesn't matter. Your consistency does. Daniel laughed softly. It felt like the universe was repeating a message he desperately needed to hear. He nodded and said, "Thank you." The man raised a hand and replied, "Your body listens more than you think." Daniel jogged away, smiling. The music in his steps. He put his earbuds in and played a soft instrumental track, calm piano mixed with a slow beat. The rhythm matched his breathing. His breathing matched his steps. His steps matched his focus. For the first time, exercising didn't feel like punishment. It felt like music. Every step said, "I'm here. I'm trying. I'm improving." And the beautiful thing about the human body is this: you don't need to be perfect to get better. You just need to show up. The feeling of control returns. By the time Daniel finished his jog, sweat dripped down his forehead. His legs felt warm. His heart was beating fast, but in a strong, healthy way. He wasn't exhausted. He wasn't miserable. He wasn't ashamed. He was alive. For the first time in months, he felt like he was in control of something in his life. Not everything. Not every problem. Not every future decision. Just one thing: his body today, and sometimes that's enough to change your entire future. I can do this. Daniel walked back home slowly, cooling down. He felt proud, not because of how far he ran, but because he showed up. He tried. He repeated the effort. He whispered to himself, not loudly, but with confidence, I can do this. 3 simple words, but powerful enough to rebuild a life, because once your body starts remembering good habits, your mind follows. Your emotions follow. Your confidence follows. A promise to himself standing at his doorstep. He took one more deep breath. Today wasn't special. He didn't climb a mountain. He didn't run a marathon. He didn't transform his entire life in one morning, but he did something more meaningful. He made a promise to his body. Every day, I will give you something good to remember. Just a small walk, a simple stretch, a few minutes of breathing, a gentle run, a healthy meal, a good night's sleep. Nothing extreme, nothing impossible, just care, daily care, because your body remembers everything. Make sure it remembers love, not neglect. Daniel smiled softly. He stepped inside. The day had just begun. And so had his new life.